Hi, I'm Loraine Rushton. Welcome to the Kids Yoga Teacher Success Series. And why you want to be coming in and listening is because every series we're going to be bringing in successful children's yoga teachers who are going to be sharing with you what they did, how it worked, what happened, so that you can do it as well. They're going to be sharing with you tools and tips and guidance to help you to be successful as well. So I am so excited to have the beautiful Melinda here to share with you and to say hello and tell you a little bit about what she's done, what she's been up to, and to help you in your journey as well. So hello, Melinda, thank you so much for coming in. And just tell us a little bit, start us off, a little bit about you, who you are, what you're doing.
My name is Melinda Shine, and I have been teaching children's yoga for the last 3 years. Pretty much as soon as I did my training with Loraine, I stepped into teaching children's yoga. And I have a background in nursing, and after 20 years of nursing, I needed a change. I worked with children, but I needed a change. And when I did my yoga therapy training with Loraine, that was the first course I did. That was just a game changer for me. That just ignited a spark. And really the biggest thing for me in the yoga therapy training was that I needed to do work with one of my children. And I took my daughter to see Loraine. We'd been seeing a paediatrician for years and not having any luck. And everything just changed. That after that first session with Loraine, the yoga therapy that we did with my daughter and the changes in her diet, it was just instant. And for me, having that first-hand experience with the yoga therapy has been massive, because now when I work with other children and also adults, I know that it works because we've been down that path ourselves. And that just was a stepping stone to doing more teacher training with Loraine, and then starting my children's yoga teacher journey, and to now finishing all the trainings in December last year. And I feel like everything's just keeps stepping up. It's been amazing.
So your first course with me was the yoga therapy course.
Yeah.
And that's when I did the session with you, with your daughter, when you brought her in. That was the first course.
Yeah.
What a journey that's been. So,
yeah.
so how many years, how many years has it been?
It's been, I think it was about 3.5 years ago when I did the yoga therapy.
Okay.
And I was probably at a point in my life where I was really looking for something else. There was sort of this, need to change. I needed to change in myself. I needed to change in my career. And the yoga therapy just ignited a spark, because I studied Oriental medicine when I was 19, and it took me back into that. And it wasn't just the kids yoga, it just blew open this whole world for me. And once I sort of stepped into that, there's just been no looking back. It's been amazing. Yeah. So thank you so much. I have so much gratitude towards you, Loraine, and everything that you've given and all the work that you've done on yourself that has impacted on myself and so many other people.
Well, you know that my journey started exactly so. My journey started with yoga therapy. And it was because of all the health challenges that I was facing and all my digestive problems. And it was so phenomenally profound in the impact it had on me that was it. I just wanted to get out and tell the whole world. And so went out into teaching the adults, because it was an adults-based yoga training, and thought that was it. I was going to have to say goodbye to the kids that I used to teach in schools. And then somehow it just led me back into working with the kids in the schools. So it's been a yoga therapy that I've taught over 25 years. And it's, I love that. It starts with this calling, this pull for something else, for something new. And then when you see something work firsthand, that, that's it. And on the one hand, the challenge at the time was going through that with your daughter, but on the other hand, it's the impact that had, that gift that gives you that knowing that you can go out there and change so many children's lives. I have so many graduates going, well, I kind of have this great idea that that maybe it will help. It's like, firsthand, this really does help. You've got that, and then you go out there and do it. So when did you start? When did you start the actual business side? When did you say, right, I'm going to set up some classes?
I started teaching straight away at my son's kinder because I was going to do my adults teacher training, but I wanted to, once I did the foundation and the advanced, I wanted to teach straight away because I didn't want to lose, all the knowledge is fresh. So I did that for a year, and the studio that I was teaching adults at, she knew that when I did my 200 hours that I wanted to work with kids. And so the idea that we both had was that eventually I would teach children there. So I did that. I started that in 2018, started children's classes there, and she was amazing and supportive. And we did that up until COVID hit. And then it all just completely changed and got transferred to online, which was a whole new journey. But it's just been amazing. Yeah.
And if you were going to look back and say, if you're going to look back at your journey, what would be your learns? What would be maybe one or two big learns?
Don't give up. Do not give up, because you're going to have some shockers. You're going to have some classes that you just like, oh my God, what just happened? But they are the classes that you learn from the most, because if you can give yourself that chance to reflect and go, okay, what can I do differently? That'll step you up to the next level. And persist, keep going, because you're going to have some highs, you're going to have some lows, you're going to have in the middles, but just keep going, because every yoga teacher, every person who's committed to their career will tell you that there's always ups and downs. And don't get put off when there's difficult times. Keep going, because I really feel now much more solid in my journey. And I've had some moments of doubt. Oh my goodness, should I be doing this? That wasn't a good class. I don't feel like I did very well, but I kept on going. I learned from it, and it just makes you a better teacher. So persistence, that's the biggest lesson for me, is persistence. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so true. We all have them. We all have moments where it's just, doesn't go quite according to plan. and I share in I think the foundation course, the first class I ever taught to teenagers was it was just, probably the most challenging class I've ever taught. And it was the best lesson I ever had, because it really made me think about what could I do differently. And it made me think about how structuring my classes completely differently. But it grows you as a teacher. It does grow you as a teacher.
And I think it's that, children can be so unpredictable. And if you go into a class with a plan and every time expect to go to that plan, then you've got to bring in that flexibility. You've got to be able to read the energy of the room and be able to adapt. Adaptability is a big one too. Because if you have a really strong class planned with lots of physical movement and the kids are exhausted, you're going to have some very cranky kids who are going to sit there and not do it. So it's just all a process of learning.
Thank you. 100%.
Yeah.
And you teach from what ages to what ages?
I'm teaching from about 4 years to about 12.
What's your favourite age?
Oh, tweens. Their brains are just so open to that next level. They love talking about their feelings and sharing their ideas, and they just have this sort of depth to them that's just beautiful, and you can really get into sort of the yoga talk. I love that. Yeah, that's amazing. Probably tweens, I'd say. Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And if you were going to give somebody who was thinking a tip or some advice, somebody who's thinking about starting this journey, who hasn't started yet, who's sitting on the fence and thinking, sounds like a great idea, love yoga, love kids, what would you say?
Do it. Absolutely. 100%, because it's not just something that you're giving to children, you're changing their lives, but you'll change your life as well. And by changing your life, and there's so many take homes that I've got from your workshops that have made a profound difference on me. All the self-talk, all the things we've learnt about our thoughts, it'll change you as a person, and how you change as a person and the growth that you have, you can share that with children. It's so profound. just do it. That's my
I
that's my
agree.
advice.
I agree. And I'd say that just anybody can do it. You just can do it. It's just a process, and the skills that can be learned. And then, as you say, just don't give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And we're all going to have these ups and these downs. But the profound impact that you make is worth it all.
Absolutely.
For them and for yourself.
Absolutely.
So what would be, if you look back, well, firstly, how can everybody follow you or find you? What's your Facebook name or your Instagram name?
My Instagram is Shine Your Light 9, and my Facebook is Shine Your Light Health and Wellbeing. So
Shine Your Light Health and Wellbeing Facebook, and Insta?
shineyourlight.9.
shineyourlight.9.
Yeah.
Beautiful, gorgeous. Is there anything else that you need, that you want to share, that you want to say to help people in their journey, things that you've learned?
Oh gosh, there's so much. How do you sort of pinpoint it to one thing? The yoga therapy. I think the yoga therapy, if yoga therapy is a new concept to you and the Oriental medicine, be open to it because it works. Not just from my own personal experience with my child, but you see it in the classes. And children, their energy moves very quickly, and so their bodies just naturally gravitate towards that, and you will see the changes in your classes instantaneously. Keep your mind open because it works, and you will see that every time you teach. You will see the changes, and you will have children say it to you, and you will have their parents come back and say it to you and thank you for it.
So let's finish with, what would be a question that I always ask at the end. If you think back over the last 3.5 years, 4 years, is there a standout moment or a highlight moment that from that whole teaching career that just stands out for you?
From teaching classes or anything? Teaching classes. Having a child come up and say to me, I'm really glad I did this class, even though my friends didn't want to do it. I'm glad I didn't listen to them and did it because I loved it.
Oh, gorgeous. I love that.
Yeah.
How old?
Probably about 11 or 12.
Girl or boy?
Boy.
Oh.
That was just beautiful. Yeah. And it stays with you. And when you have those moments where things feel a little bit flat, you bring back those memories and you hold on to that, and that will just keep you going. Yeah.
Well, let's finish right there, because that's beautiful. And that's the gift.
Yeah.
That's the gift.
Yeah.
Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for sharing the yoga and the yoga therapy with all those hundreds and thousands of children. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with everybody, and your gifts and your tips. Thank you, beautiful.
Thanks, Loraine.